2021 has been a great year for retro releases, and we got another big one for retro gamers this month. Long-lost arcade game Clockwork Aquario, which was slated to come out in arcades in 1993, has been fully restored, and best of all, it's out on modern consoles, like the Nintendo Switch. You want to know what this game is about? And most importantly, is it fun? Well, you are in the right place. You're going to find out in today's review. So hang on, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into Clockwork Aquario for the Nintendo Switch. So let's start off with a little history lesson. It's pretty important to know, because that's what makes this release so different from other retro releases. See, Clockwork Aquario was the final arcade game developed by Redstone, who are best known for the Wonder Boy / Monster War games. It was originally developed for the Sega System 18 arcade board, but was shelved due to it failing location tests and the fact that in 1993, fighting games and the birth of 3D gaming was beginning to dominate the market. A game such as this that was released on an aging arcade board system, which was originally released in 1989, it just didn't stand a chance. But flash forward to 2021, and there's loads of people who appreciate 2D retro releases, so this game has a second chance. Luckily, there were remnants of the game in the company archives, and following a pretty intensive restoration project that features a ton of the original creators and people that worked on the game, Clockwork Aquario is officially a thing, it's fully restored, and it's a real release. So what's the gameplay like? Well, it's a side-scroller platformer action game, pretty much a run and jump. Some enemies require a hit of some sort to stun, like a melee attack, or by jumping on them, you can either attack them again to defeat them, or pick them up to throw them at other enemies. You also get access to a golden power-up that allows you to shoot projectiles for a short time, plus red potions that can restore a hit point. Speaking of hit points, if you get hit by an enemy, you go into a damaged state, where your characters will look like they've been through a heck of a fight, and one more hit, your character will lose a life. You can gain extra lives by filling up the 1-up meter with diamonds that randomly drop from enemies. There's boss battles too at the end of every stage, and they are huge and fun to fight. Visually, it's a pretty beautiful game with lots of huge big sprites and some really good music. It even has 2-player co-op, which can make the game much easier as you're able to team up by jumping on top of each other to reach higher places or get the jump on a boss. Keep in mind though, it is an arcade game, so you get all the pros and cons that come with that. It's a rather short game, only 5 stages, and admittedly you probably can crack this open after a few attempts. It isn't the hardest arcade game out there, though to be honest, if you're sloppy, you will lose lives like candy. But with that, I think it makes it easier for people to pick up and play and go for that high score. As a longtime player of arcade games, I always appreciate that about them. Beyond playing the game itself, there's a bunch of difficulties and modes that they've added in order to enjoy this release. There's a training mode that allows you to play up to stage 2, plus the easy, normal, and hard modes that give you 9, 5, and 3 credits to play and beat the game. There's some unlockables too, including the co-op bonus game, which is unlocked by beating stage 3 in any difficulty, and arcade mode, which is unlocked after beating the game. Arcade mode is really nice because you get access to all the operator settings and dip switch settings and everything by pressing the L button at any time. There's a gallery here too that lets you look at images and drawings for the game, as well as a way to access and listen to the original soundtrack, plus a new remixed soundtrack that is simply amazing to the ears. I really love this new remixed soundtrack, and the sad part is, at this time, it's not able to be used in the main game, which I think is a crime. They need to enable it as an option in a future update. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the original soundtrack to this, but that remixed soundtrack is amazing. Finally, there's some visual options, including CRT filters for those that want to check it out. The game is a lot of fun, and it really makes me happy to see this come to fruition. I'm a big fan of game preservation, and it's just amazing to see a game that would be lost to time, brought back to life, and restored for play. It's great stuff. It also means that because of that, it's not the cheapest release. When it comes out in the States on the 14th of this month, it'll be $19.99, which for some people, that might be a bit too steep. But for retro enthusiasts, I think you'll understand that this isn't just put a ROM in a program and sell kind of thing. When it was found in the company archives, it was originally incomplete and required a lot of visual work and programming for it to be restored. Luckily, a lot of the original people that worked on the game were able to contribute, and through that, they were able to make this happen. This was a labor of love. This was really a restoration project from top to bottom. And if you understand that and realize it's not a normal release, then yeah, it makes sense for what they are charging. Again, for North American players, you'll have to wait until the 14th for this game to come out. But good news, European players, this game is already out over there on the eShop, so you can go check that out right now. But anyway, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I'm still going back through the game trying to get a better score each time. Oh, and I do have a little tip for ya. While each of the 3 characters aren't that much different, the robot I find to be my fave. He seems to have a little bit of a larger reach than the other characters that I can really appreciate. And even though he's a bit slower and bigger than the other 2 characters, having that reach is a nice asset. He's worth checking out if you're struggling. That's all I have for today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Lets me know you liked it. As well as consider subscribing if you haven't, especially if you like Nintendo Switch stuff. I put out new videos each and every week, so you don't want to miss a single video. Shout out to the Kaiju Club Patreons. Thank you for your support. It really helps out this channel. And of course, thank you to everyone who watched this video. Thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.